Hello, everybody. So we're going to practice a few questions that are going to be very similar to what's going to be on TCA 3. So a couple things I want to go over. Number one, this is going to be our TCA 3 review. Please make sure that you guys read the headings for each one because number one, it's going to identify which question it's going to relate to on the TCA. Second thing, it's also going to give you any formulas that you might need in order to solve. Okay, so we're going to go through each question one by one. This will be 2 days worth of an assignment, and then you'll be able to take the TCA on Friday. Again, if you have any questions or you're still not sure, feel free to send me a remind about a specific question that's on the review or during the TCA. And if you're really stuck, it's okay. We'll wait until Monday when I return and then we'll go over it. Okay, so let's start off with number one. So, number one, we go back to the very beginning when we're talking about interior and exterior angles of polygons, convex polygons to be specific. So for number one, it says identify the number of sides in the figure below. All you have to do is count the sides. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, that's all you need to do for number one. And again, that corresponds with question 1A on the TCA. All right, let's go to number two. It says find the interior angle sum for each polygon. Okay, if you remember, this was the number of sides minus 2 times 180. And this has to do with TCA question 1B. So the number of sides on this figure is again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would do 5 minus 2 times 180. Well, 5 minus 2 is 3 and then 3 times 180. Make sure you guys have your calculators handy. All right. So get your calculators out. 3 times 180, and we get 540. Okay. Number three. For number three, it says find the measure of one interior angle for each of the regular polygons. Okay, again, you're still going to use the same formula that we did here, but when we get our answer, we have to divide it by the number of sides because we want each angle. So we want this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle. So the number of sides again, because it's the same figure as the one above, is 5. So we're going to do 5 minus 2 times 180. We get 3 times 180. We get 540. And then we have to divide by the number of sides. So 540 divided by 5. So I still have my 540 in here before. I'm going to divide by 5 and I get 108. All right, moving on to number 4. All right, number 4 says find the measure. Sorry, I'm having a little problem setting this up. Okay, find the measure of one exterior angle in each of the regular polygons. Well, if you remember correctly, all of the exterior angles of a polygon equal 360. Okay, so they all equal, not actually, I don't want to put that on the inside. Let's put that on the outside. All exterior angles equal 360 degrees. Okay, so if we just want to find one, we're going to take 360 degrees and divide it by the number of angles we have. We have the same number of angles as we do sides. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 360 divided by 5. So I've got my calculator here. 360 divided by 5, and that gives us 72. So that means each one of these angles is equal to 72 degrees. Okay. All right. Again, you guys can go back, rewind this if you miss any part of it. If I'm going too fast for you, that's okay. You can just hit stop and then wait and then write down what you need to write down. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next page. Okay, our next question here says, find the measure of each angle indicated. Now, if you take a look at this, this is a four-sided figure. Now, in case you forgot, all quadrilaterals are 360 degrees. We can still use that same n minus 2 times 180 trick because if we have n minus 2 times 180 here, if we have four sides, so 4 minus 2 times 180, well, 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2 times 180 is going to give us 360 degrees. But for the most part, I think all of us are familiar now that any four-sided figure has 360 degrees. So with that being said, I have three angles and a missing angle. So we need to find out what this missing angle is in order for us to find the measure of that angle. So we can do 111 plus 85 plus 60 plus, they have it here as a question mark. We can just keep it as a question mark, equals 360. So now I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to do 111 plus 85 plus 60, and I get 256 plus my question mark equals 360. So just like if that was a variable there, how do I get the variable or the question mark by itself? All right, I'm going to subtract both sides by 256. So minus 256 minus 256. And I get, whoop, not a 9, a question mark. My question mark, or my R angle R here, is going to equal 360 minus 256, and that gives me 104. So this angle right here has to be 104 degrees. Remember, you can always go back and check your work. So if we go ahead and do that, we're going to plug in all the angles. So we have 111 plus 85 plus 104 plus 60, and that equals 360 degrees. Okay, so we have two more samples at this point. If you want to hit pause on the recording, do it and then check your work. You can do that, or you can do this one with me as well. So again, we already know that all sides are going to equal, all the angles are going to equal 360 degrees. So I'm just going to set it up. 85 plus 95 plus 100 plus question mark is going to equal 360 degrees. So I have 85 plus 95 plus 100 is equal to 280. So I have 280 plus question mark equals 360. How do I get the question mark by itself? Well, I'm going to subtract both sides by 280. Get my calculator out. 360 minus 280 equals 80. So this missing angle right here is 80 degrees. You want to check your work. 80 plus 85 plus 95 plus 100 equals 360 degrees. All right, so far so good. I hope everybody's doing. All right, let's do the third one for this section. 95 plus 69 plus question mark plus 100 is going to equal 360 degrees. So 95 plus 69 plus 100 equals 264. So we have 264 plus my question mark is going to equal 360 degrees. 360 minus 264 is going to give me 96. So 264 on both sides. And I get my question mark is equal to 96 degrees. Okay, so if you guys notice, all of these questions that we just did here, there's only one, but we have 3 practice problems pertaining to question 2. All right, let's go down to number 8 on the review. Okay, it says solve each figure knowing that it's a parallelogram. So in this one, you need to remember that the opposite angles are congruent. So the two corners, the opposite corners. All right. So if they're congruent, that means we're going to set them equal to each other. All right. So in this particular one, you just need to solve for x. So we have 31x minus 4 is going to equal 120. Okay, our basic two-step algebra, multi-step algebra, add 4 to both sides. We get 31x is equal to 124. And then again, we want to get the x by itself. So I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to do 124 divided by 31. And I get 4. So my answer would be x is equal to 4. Okay. All right. We're going to continue on to the next page. Again, these ones are also going to be practice for question 3. There's, I believe, only 9 questions on the TCA. Again, same thing. Opposite angles are congruent. So we have 80 is equal to 9x plus 8. So we're going to try to get that. We're going to get the x by itself. We're going to subtract 8 from both sides. Okay, get your calculators out. We have 80 minus 8. That's going to give us 72. So 72 is equal to 9x. Divide both sides by 9. And we get x is equal to, so we have 72 divided by 9, and we get x is equal to 8. Okay. Now, again, I'm sure for you guys, I am going a little fast right now, but like I said before, you can hit pause, you can go back, you can watch it again. So don't feel like you have to keep up with me. Okay, same exact type of problem, still has to do with number 3. 6x is equal to 48. Divide both sides by 6, and x is equal to, most of you probably already know this, 48 divided by 6 is equal to 8. Okay, all right. Let's slide down here. All right, so each figure is a parallelogram. In this one, we know because it's a parallelogram, one of the rules is that the opposite sides are congruent. So just like the angles, these ones are also going to be congruent. So again, these next 3 questions are going to have to do with the TCA question 4. So again, 4x is going to be congruent or equal to 20. Divide both sides by 4, and then 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5. X equals 5. Okay, let's do our next problem here. We have 10x minus 2 equal to 18. Okay, remember this is a negative 2, so we have to add 2 to both sides. So we get 10x is equal to 20. Then we are going to divide both sides by 10. And we get x is equal to 20 divided by 10 equals 2. So x is going to equal 2. All right. Let's do the last one having to do with this section. So again, this had to do with question 4. Okay, and for question 4, same thing. 14 is going to equal 4x plus 2. We're going to subtract 2 on both sides, and we get 12 is equal to 4x. Divide both sides by 4. Okay, and then we get 12 divided by 4, and we get x is equal to 3. I'm sure I'm driving you crazy right now, Joe, for as fast as I'm going, but you guys can handle it. Okay, so this is the only assignment or the only notes that we're going to do for our first day of practice. Okay, when you guys sign into Google Classroom the next day, we'll finish up. We'll do 14 through 27, I think. So we just about did half the amount of problems today. All right. So I do miss all you guys. Again, if you have any questions, send me a remind. I'm sure I'm just going to be sitting on the couch bored out of my mind. So I will see you guys soon.